What is good, you guys? This is Steven with All Talk On, and today we got the power supply for my little brother's computer. Now, I did want an 80 plus gold. As you guys can see, this is 80 plus general, but to be fair, his unit is his his PC isn't really taking up too much power, so I think this will be more than efficient. It's a 500 watt. It was on sale for $34.99, and the 430 watt non-modular, same thing as this one, just 430 watts, 80 plus certified, was $39. So honestly, this one just seemed like obviously the better deal. It's more watts, and so I mean, it's EVGA too. So you know what? Let's pop it open and let's look at it real quick. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of doing the whole unboxing, so I usually just rip the box open and just pull everything out and show you guys what's inside. I don't really care about going over the details of the box. You guys aren't going to use the box anyways, so whatever. So obviously you have your power cord. That's nice thick power cord for whatever, who cares. So you have your coolest part about the EVGA right here that I like is the E on the fan. Have a nice little 120 millimeter fan right there, which is pretty nice, pretty cool. It's a very sleek looking power supply, nice and black. Now I will say this, if you have it facing downward like you're supposed to, you will see it like that. Now if you have it facing upward, you will obviously see the top. And if you have the fan facing upward though from the side view, there is nothing. This is a blank panel. So this panel is the one with something on it. Doesn't really matter for me because this power supply will not be visible in my little brother's case, so whatever. I did want a semi-modular, but you know what, to be fair, the only cords we'll go through real quick. So we have your 20 plus 4 pin connector. They hook up like magic. Bam, 24. If I transform noise, 24 pin, bam. So obviously we're going to be using that. That's a no-brainer. Let's see. We have some peripherals here. Or no, this is the 4-pin Molex. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using these. I really am not. So far I don't think I'm going to, because there's only 2 fan headers, and I only have 2 fans set up for a system so far planned out. So if we add more fans, then of course we'll be making use of these Molexes, because the CPU fan header, or CPU, or the motherboard only has 2 fan headers, which doesn't bother me how many fan headers it has. I don't really care. I can plug them into this. Just get low RPM case fans and you don't have to worry about it. So I might use those. I don't know. Next we have these, which are your peripherals. These are you know, the SATA power connectors. We're honestly only going to be using one of these, so you know, whatever. Who cares? So I mean, I'm just going to stash the rest of these somewhere. I don't know where. I'm going to have to find out where. So next, sorry, I just kind of had a voice crack there. We have another set of peripherals, which this is why I kind of would have wanted the modular, because if I'm not using the Molex or this set of peripherals, I'd like to get rid of them. But paying the extra $30 or $15, $20 wasn't really worth just being able to disconnect 2 things, as well as the power supply. Like, I feel like the cable management in this, I could just stuff most of the wires underneath it where it's not even going to be seen, and it's going to have more room than trying to fit these behind your case panel and your back of your case. So I think I'll have an easier time with it, I hope. Next we have obviously your 8-pin 4+4 CPU connector. Once again, like magic, you sit there and you're like, oh, 4-pin, which is what we'll be using, and then bam, 8-pin in case you got a bigger motherboard, you know, why not? So we'll be using that for sure. And then last but not least, we will be using this, which is a 3+2, 6+2 pins. So you have 6+2 equals 8. Once again, the transformer. So you have 2 of those. Honestly, this is a 500 watt. The only things I can see using this are like my R9 280X Tri-X cooling, and I don't think you'd want to run that on a 500 watt 80 plus efficiency, no. So we're probably not going to be using anywhere near all of these, so we're just going to have to pull one back, you know, tape it, like, you know, tie it so it doesn't stick in the way, and then if we don't use that, which I doubt we will, I don't know what I'm going to do, pull it back. I don't know. I kind of wish that they made it to where you could at least pull it off if you don't need it. But you know, whatever. I mean, that's part of modular. But I mean, even with these cables on a semi-modular, it's still like this. Say I only need 6 pins. They should make it, if it's modular, they should make these pins come off. You know what I mean? that would be modular, but they just make the whole cord come off in general if you don't need it, but you know, whatever. So that's the EVGA 500 watt power supply. It's a nice power supply. It'll definitely get the job done. I am happier with the 500 than I would be with the 430 because I do plan on overclocking the living hell out of that Pentium G3258 if it lets me, as far as I can get it, you know what I mean? As well as I'm going to try and overclock the RAM, and I'm basically going to overclock anything that this motherboard and setup will let me overclock and let you guys know how that goes. The motherboard was a low-end motherboard, so, you know, who cares? Asus also has a very good background, I guess, when it comes to being able to overclock on their lower-end motherboards. They're definitely one of the most used and spoke about, so, yep. EVGA 500 watt power supply, you guys. I recommended it all the time, and I put my money where my mouth is. Like I said, I bought all this stuff for him. This is his Christmas present, so I'm the one chipping in here for this one, and I have no problem doing it because I trust this right here. If it does crap out, I trust Newegg to give me a new one. So anyways, you guys, this is Steven with All Talk On, and I'll catch you guys later.